Welcome back to Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn with him and your calls toll free at 1-800-344-ROCK. Time now for a Rockline highlight. It's brought to you by Yahoo Search. Just what you need, just one search. Yahoo Search. I've been using Yahoo Search for years. This is from a recent Rockline with Ozzy Osbourne as he speaks about his sobriety.
All I can do is try and better myself today. I can't repair what I did yesterday, but I've got to try and repair myself today. It's really much better for me to be sober because I remember what I did. I don't do many things wrong anymore. I mean, I can't blame the booze, you know. I don't want it, you know. I mean, I've lived that life for a long time now. I'm enjoying being who I am, you know.
That's good to hear from Ozzy Osbourne. 6.5 years sober, so good for him. Let's go back to the phones. We have so many calls for him tonight. We will continue. They're in Sydney, Australia. I'm sitting here in Burbank, California. Beautiful downtown Burbank. And we'll talk to DJ, who's located in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Hi, DJ.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
how are you?
Hey, what I'm wanting to know is how do you feel your material is being received by an older audience as opposed to a younger audience?
Where do you draw the line? What's young and what's old?
Well, 21 in the United States, 18 in Europe.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to be a little smarty pants.
That was funny, though.
It was relatively funny, I admit.
In terms of what, DJ? We didn't hear you there.
Say from 25 and up.
That's kind of, you know, it's a random question in the sense that I just actually discussed about the fact that, you know, we grew up listening to a lot of the 80s stuff and that influenced a lot of the, you know, Screamworks album. So it's kind of funny that there's actually a lot of younger people who've not been around when Appetite for Destruction came out, or Dirt by Alice in Chains, or Nirvana's Nevermind. Actually, that it is legal to biblically know somebody who was born after Nevermind came out. That's mind-boggling.
Indeed.
That's a very interesting perspective.
I mean, well, you know, it's just one perspective, you know, but so it'd be actually nice to hear, you know, from some maybe younger people, you know, what if they're hearing these sounds for the first time, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you know, for me, let's say Soundgarden was an introduction to the realm of Black Sabbath in a way. When Bat Motorfinger came out and when Alice in Chains Dirt came out, that was my introduction to the '70s hard rock stuff.
Yeah.
There's always bands like that.
Yeah, true.
That makes perfect sense to me. I hear that Soundgarden is regrouping, that they're getting back together. So we'll see what happens. DJ, thanks for checking in tonight. Our next caller is in Norwalk, Connecticut, and is named Montserrat. Welcome to Rockline.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Before I ask my question really quick, I just want to say congratulations on the new album because I think it's amazing. I never want to skip one single song every time I listen to it. I think it's just perfect. So I want to say thank you for making such great music. And
thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Anyway, my question is how, I know that for you, Ville, when you write the lyrics, it's mostly about things that are going on in your life, but when it comes to the music, how do you guys work together when it comes to writing the guitar tracks or the drum tracks, which by the way are really great in this album? So how do you guys do that for each song?
Mige, should you give an overhaul of what happens? You know?
What happens?
What actually happens? You know, how does it go? I've never actually heard it. You say, what happened? How do I? You know, what goes on?
When you write lyrics, you mean?
No. When I write a song, you know, when we start working on a song, what is the vibe? Because I you know,
it's a tricky question because it's been so long since I've written any songs like that. I think I was like 14 and it didn't turn up so nice. But I would imagine that you just strum things with the guitar.
Yeah, but what happens after that, though?
When you hear something that pleases you, then you start repeating that and, you know, form, you know, a pattern
Sure,
of
yeah, I
chords.
get that, but, you know, I'm not asking that. I'm going to ask you what happens after that, because I haven't seen it from, you know, I've only seen it from my subjective point of view, understand?
Oh.
When I got a basic idea, what happens then? When I bring it to you guys, what happens?
Oh, then we start going through it.
Okay.
Played in a variety of ways. Well, it's a magical moment.
It is.
That is where the magic happens.
When you discover something that, you know, when a song settles down, you know, when you find actual, you know, that sweet way to play it, that sweet spot, the G spot of the song.
Sweet.
And that's a pretty good feeling, I have to say.
Now there's
if you ask me, you know, I'm not sure if I'm answering the right question here, but
I think you did.
And it doesn't really matter.
There is a bonus edition of the album available that has all the songs performed acoustically. Is that how you write the songs? Is that how you begin?
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff. You know, I always wanted to be like, you know, I'm a big fan of Neil Young, and so I still want to be Neil Young, but you know, I understood that it's not possible. It's not physically possible. So I'm just pretending to be like a folky fella. So I sit down with the acoustic guitar, strum a couple of things, and take it to the rest of the guys, and then we start working on it. And since a lot of people have been asking about how songs are being born in this particular band, I thought that it's a cool way of doing kind of like a deconstructive art version of the album. After we spent months and months working on the on Screamworks, it was nice to go back home and then kind of destroy it in an acoustic fashion.
And break it down again. Let's play another new song from Screamworks. I love that the key of each song is listed and the beats per minute, and this has the fastest beats per minute of any of the songs on the album. This is Ode to Solitude. Ode to Solitude at 170, I can't quite read either, 5 or 6 beats per minute for you there on Rockline. I just love that that's on there.
Comes in handy.
Yes, it certainly does. We're with him and, of course, your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK. And we head to Little Rock, Arkansas to speak with Donna. Welcome to Rockline.
Hello, Ville and Mige.
Hello there, Donna.
Hello. This question is for Ville. The topic of this question is the cause of much speculation amongst your fans. And we all know that it must be huge, larger than the average man's. So could you please tell us, what is your IQ?
IQ. You know, I've never believed that a person's intellect can be measured in mathematical ways. So, you know, as a rock and roller, I would probably have to say 666, but that's a boring answer too. But no, I don't believe, because I've met people with really, you know, from Mensa with really high IQs, and they're still not really well-functioning individuals in the society with very little sense of humor and very little creativity. I'm not saying that all of those people are like that, but I'm still saying that, you know, I'm just trying to figure out a way how to skip the question. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a strange way to measure intellect, yeah. It's definitely, because my IQ is smaller than my shoe number, so, you know, so I'm really bad at those Mensa things.
Plus, I don't think you can measure common sense, and that really comes into the equation. And I have to say, for our caller, you can try. For our caller, Donna, I really thought you were going somewhere else with that question.
Yeah, large man.
Yes, indeed. Let's move on, shall we?
So large, Mige.
We're North Carolina bound to Morganton.
The donuts.
And we will speak with Vladimir. Welcome to Rockline, Vladimir.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hello, man.
I'm from Russia originally.
Oh,
love
cool.
your music.
Thank you.
I think it's really unique and creative.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста. My question will be for you is, which song of the Dark Light was the hardest to write, and why? Thank you much.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a couple of years since we worked on that one. I think that there's always little moments in each and every song that makes it hard to write. There's not one single song that would be harder than the rest. I think it's the whole kind of like conception of an album that makes it tough. To get the couple of first songs going and then figuring out the overall sound of the album. It's always painful, but in a very pleasurable way. So, can you remember that far? I can't.
I'm afraid I can't either.
Well,
was there a difficult child in that family?
No, not really.
Not that I remember.
All the children became really difficult when they
and
when they grew up.
They all had really bad skin. So in a sense, yeah.
Some of them did very well at radio, though, including this song for you on Rockline.